Do you have any other suggestions for how older people can, do you think a nutrition consult would be a good idea for most older people to get?
Sure. I think most people in general don't recognize that they may have shortcomings in their diet. So I think a typical, like I have something, sometimes I'll share with people like a typical healthy day. You might have a bowl of cold cereal in the morning, with skim milk, and then lunch is a turkey sandwich and some baked chips. And dinner might be broiled chicken with a potato and like a little bit of vegetable. So like, oh, I'm doing good,
Yeah.
I have a low-fat granola bar for a snack. And it turns out they only have, one vegetable during the day, and it's this little so they might be avoiding certain things that aren't, that could be damaging their health, but they're not getting in. I think most people miss the point of like what they're missing.
Yeah.
And so then they're just not getting, their cells and their body isn't getting the nutrients they need to really thrive.
Yeah. Do you believe that people are capable of making changes in their life? Or let me say that again. If you're going to make a change, is it better to do it incrementally or to just do it full blast and just do it?
Totally incrementally. Because I've seen the effect of trying to make too many changes at once, and it's way too overwhelming. Yeah. So when I work with someone, it's always like one step at a time. We may just work on one meal, we might work on just their snack. I mean, it can be really hard to change eating habits. They're ingrained for years.
Yeah.
And so to slowly, make these new habits, you want to make sure that you're doing it nice and slow so that they can adjust, and you want to make sure you're also really enjoying, like I said before, you have to enjoy what you're eating in order to stick with it.
Yeah.
So always work with people to figure out what are you going to love to eat for your meal so that we can come up with something nutritious that you enjoy.
Is there a kind of a snack or a boost supplement? Not I mentioned boost, but do you think Ensure or Boost are good ways to supplement diet, or do you think there are other ways to do it?
I tend to go more towards something a little more natural. Like one of my favorite supplements for that is a product called Orgain, which is pretty readily found in a lot of supermarkets and Costco and places like that, where they're using a better quality whey. There's no fructose corn syrup. It's just a kind of cleaner product, a little bit less sugar. So that's usually what I recommend. Or if people are capable of it, I help them, teach them how to make like a healthy smoothie.
That's a good point. Like, how would you do that? What would you recommend?
So I have different recipes, but basically you include fruit, usually a vegetable, and then some kind of a healthy fat and a protein source. So it could be avocado, it could be almond butter or peanut butter or walnuts that you're throwing in there, or ground flax seeds as your fat. And that also gives you some fiber. And then I usually turn to a clean protein source. So that could be like a plain pumpkin seed powder, or a pea protein, or clean whey protein. So there's no artificial sweeteners or additives. Collagen peptides are very popular now. You can get it at Costco, you can get it at Target. So those, you can add something like that, which is also good for the bones. And it's no flavor. You just kind of mix it in.
Is this something that you could make a week's worth of and keep it in the refrigerator? Or
probably not a week's worth, but you could make probably 3 days worth and just keep it in the fridge and then just just kind of stir it up again.
That what you're sounds overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
And kind of all those things.
Right. So that's where you can turn to just like a clean protein powder and just mix it with something very simply and add some frozen fruit. So it doesn't have to be complicated. Or you get the boxed, if someone's really looking for a boxed version that's ready-made, then there's a couple brands that are better.